Hello everyone, hopefully everyone can hear me okay and we'll come through nice and clear. I can see the stream is frozen on my screen. That's not good. Ah, crap. Is the camera frozen there? Let me see if I can reset the camera. Hold on. Why has it done that? If in doubt, let's plug it in and plug it. Unplug it and plug it back in. Hey, there you go. Hey, we're back. Hello everyone. Yes, welcome to Question Time. Question Time is a weekly live show where you get to ask any question you like regarding game development, Unreal Engine 4, or anything you want in general, really. It's your time to ask questions to me. If you haven't done this before, all you have to do is put your question into chat. I'll grab where ones I can see and ones I can answer within this next hour or so. If I do miss your question, please don't take it to heart. Just put it in again and I'll try and catch it next time. And if I don't get to your question at all, We do this every Wednesday at the same time, so come by next time and try again. So shall we get started? Before we get started, a few little words of comments. So there are more videos coming out every single week. Obviously, a brand new series has started over on Patreon, which is Deathmatch Bot AI. So if you want to learn about how bots are made, how you can make bots navigate a map in a natural manner using EQS system. So if you want to learn more about EQS, there's that. And also some other normal stuff like RTS series is still on there. That's episode 6 at the moment. As well as FPS RPG continues over there too. If you want a one-to-one session with myself, I do private sessions and private consulting and project work as well. May is close to full. So if you want to get a private session in, please get in touch as soon as possible to secure your space. So it's at support@ryanlaley.com. support@ryanlaley.com. And also, before we start, I want to say a big shout out and thank you to all of my patrons and YouTube members for your continued support. None of this would be possible without you, so thank you again so much. Let's jump in, shall we? So I'm going to hit the little button, if I can hit it in time. There we go. Okay, cool. Hello everyone. So let's go through some questions here. So Christos Marius, did you ever actually release any game? If yes, please showcase them. Thanks. Yes, I have released a few games, mostly all mobile ones really. There's a couple of niche that I made during the channel stuff, but my latest game is still available on mobile. It's called Blob. People like it. It's a little puzzle game, and currently working on another game at the moment. So I've released about 3 games in total. That are off my own back anyway. Say Banana Man if you're truly real. Hi Ramo. Say Banana Man. I've said Banana Man if you're truly real. I am here. I'm real. I'm in the flesh. TH Gaming. Hi Ryan, I'm looking to add group melee attack logic into my game, like Breath of the Wild. You mentioned this in your original AI series, but didn't show it. Any chance you could run through it? So the group AI stuff is actually covered in the melee AI series, where it shows how you can have a group of enemies and they take turns to attack you. So you'll find that in there, that sort of logic. So check out that series there. Blake McCorkle, how can you force a key to be listening for on release using spectator control window for VR and interrupts input? I can never truly record the player's real release event because the first time. Is there a way to tell the input system to start listening for a key release event? A key release event. Control window interrupts input. I can never truly record the player's real release event because the first time. I'm not entirely sure if I'm understanding you correctly, Blake, unfortunately. But if you want something to do something only on a release, like all inputs are always listening, so you can't say it's not listening. Yeah, so by listening, that doesn't make sense because it's always listening. So long as you've enabled input onto it, it's always listening to inputs. So like for example, if you put the 1 key, you got released here, so that's always listening to when you release it. As long as you got that there, it's always listening for that. If it's a plugin, I don't know that plugin, so I can't comment. I didn't make it, so I can't say what they're doing on it. But if you've got a plugin just to do listening for release events, you just have this. Surely, you just have this. You don't push anything into press, you can just put it in released. When input clicks on the mouse event, it triggers a false release. Okay, well, let's test that out. So if I put a right mouse button, let me see for myself. Right mouse button, release. I'll do a print string here. Say hello. I'll hit play. Okay, so if I hit right mouse button, I'm holding down the right mouse button now. If I let go, it says hello. Now it's using a second window for VR interfaces. Picture 2 windows. Okay, but if it's got 2 windows, picture 2 windows, yeah, you would have. You still it'll be yeah, you have 2 windows, but you'll still have only 1 controller, like player controller. So you put that input on the player controller. Sorry if I'm misunderstanding you. It doesn't really matter what's on the screen. Look on this sec. Do you mean you're doing things something like this? Do you mean by 2 windows? You mean if I did like this, for example? So I have this window here and I have this window here. Is that what you're talking about? Let me know, Blake, if this is what you're talking about when you have 2. When you say 2 windows, do you mean this? I have the viewport here and I can go over here. Minimize this over here. Yes, but picture that second window as not a multiplayer. Yeah, it's fine, not as multiplayer, yeah. It's still using 1 controller, so the input would be on the controller. So if you don't already have... It's a specialized widget, okay. I'm sorry if I'm misinterpreting it, but you'd have... Look, you just put... If it's only 1 controller player controlling it, so you just have the input on the controller. You can do it just here. I'm having a hard time picturing what the issue is. Say it's 1 controller, so it should just go on the controller here. All inputs from the player go through the controller into other stuff. So if it goes through the controller, you can interpret what it does there. But I say I haven't made the plugin. I don't know what the plugin does. I don't know how it works, so I can't say. I can't help, unfortunately. Christos, what's your full-time job? Guess with mobile releases you need another monthly income source. Yes, my full-time job is currently I am a lecturer and manager of media and games at a college, and I have been teaching games development for about 10 years now. However, I am now going to full-time YouTube stuff and private consultation and tutoring and project development work for people coming from July. So we're taking the plunge and going full time from July. So yeah, that's what I do in my day to day. That's why I'm so tired all the time, because I'm teaching as well during the day and managing and whole area. Kyle was his student. Yep. Hello, Kyle. How do you make a radial cooldown bar, a radial progress bar? So we actually covered something similar to that last time, but we're going to here. No, that's right. A material. So we'll do this before I answer anything else. So okay, so the crux of this is you have let's say a color, whatever, and you do vector to radial value, and this outputs different points here. So if you use this node on the material here, so if I do like add, for example, and do add 0, you can it will show you what each one does. That's radial coordinate. That's that one. It will update in a second. And this one is this one. You don't want that. We want that over here. So this would be texture coordinate. No, not that one. texture coordinate. So take texture coordinate, and you, if I expand, I'll show you what I mean by this. So if you do this and then you subtract 0.5, that puts it into the center of it, and then you do a radial from the center, and you get some outputs. It should update. There you go. Okay, so you get this sort of gradient effect. So we then want a make a circle, like a texture for the size and thickness of your progress bar. So like a ring shape. I don't know if they come with a ring shape by default. Let's have a look. Texture sample. Ring. Circle. Round. No, hang on. Let me go find one on Google quickly. I can make it in Photoshop, but it takes ages to load Photoshop. So let's say we'll take this funky graphic. Okay, hang on. Oh, it's not square. God damn it. Hold on. You need to be square. Yeah, that'll do. That's as close as we're going to get. I'll show you what I've got in a second. Okay. And we'll pull that into here. So we've got this circle here. I turn off alpha. No, I'm going to show that. Oh, it's a black image. Sorry, you're not going to see it on black and black background. Sorry, color. Background checkered. There you go. No, you should be able to see that. Oh, we'll chuck it into here, see if that fixes it. So this is circle. Or just a bad texture. Oh, hello. So as I said, it's black. So if I do 1 minus that, it'll make it white. I think the texture might just be bad. I'll find another one. Yeah, it's not going well. Save image as. Right, it's working. Would have been quicker to make it. There you go. We'll use that one. So in here, we'll do, what's it called? Black and white circle. Black and white. Do that. So this is black and white. So I need to flip it the other way around. So it's a white ring and a black background. And then you multiply that by a value. So what we need to do is take this value here and we clamp this like that. And what you're doing in clamping here is, because this is a gradient value, it doesn't hide itself there. This is a gradient value going between 0 and 1. So if you clamp it to say 0.5, it only fill up half of the way. So we'll make that a scalar parameter. And call this one percent. And plug that into the max. and set that default value here to 0.5, so you get to see the difference it makes. And then you multiply it by your texture, which then we can add some color to it if you want. So add some color, multiply that by that, and let's make it, I don't know, red or orange in that case, and put that into there. So this should, if it's working, it says, give us a half radial circle like this, or close. There we go. Why isn't that working? 0.5 clamp. Oh yeah, clamp. Sorry, not clamp. Not clamp. We want if. So, and B will be the scalar. So that'd be percent. Put that in there, because it was clamping it, but it was clamping it at 1, which we don't want. So on percentage here, we'll set that default here to 0.5, and then if it's greater than A and B, we're going to set it to 0. So I'm going to put in 0 there, and if it is less than, we'll make it equal to 1. And then that goes into our multiply here. So if I set percent here to 0.5, now it'll give us a semicircle. Like that, see? And it's not a great graphics, it's not clean enough, but hey ho, you get the gist of it. So you can change that value in percentage in your instance of your graphic here. And obviously if you're using opacity maps on here, you can make this a masked or translucent. So we'll do masked, and we'll take this graphic here and we'll do round, just to make sure we get rid of those blacks, those dirty blacks and dirty whites. It'll round. So if it's like set close to black, it'll make it go fully black. If it's close to white, it'll go fully white, something like that. So so you get this sort of effect. Yeah. And that will take it into that, and hit apply, and you're done. So if you want this to be part of the of a UI, you would change this to be a surface to user interface, and plug that into final color, and there you go. So if I make a widget now, so if I make that actually a material instance, as in this, I don't know if you can change. There you go. So I've got percent here. If I tweak this number, I can get different progress bars like that. Obviously, you can use a graphic instead of a plain circle like I've used here, but yeah. So let's actually apply this to our character. So I'm going to add this to my widget blueprint, and we'll do a image, and we'll set our brush to our material that we made, which is called new material inst, like that, and we'll do size to content, and make that content 128 by 128. Maybe a bit more than that. Let's go big. 256 by 256. And we'll anchor that to the bottom left here. Hit compile, and we'll go to the graph. And on here we'll want to set up the pre-construct first of all, and then do a construct. So on pre-construct, I'm going to take my image out and get the brush. Get brush. Hang on. I can't which way it works on here. Get dynamic material. That's it. So get dynamic material, and then from there you set scalar parameter value, and that'll be set to percent. And the value here will be a variable, so that'll be percentage, and we'll make that a float, and we'll plug that into our value here. So that's the pre-construct, and we can set percentage here to 1 by default. So compile that, set to 1, and that will send 1 over to our graphic here. So you see it's 1. Then what we do is set up a event dispatcher to handle this. So on the construct here, we're going to get player character, and we'll do bind event to any damage, like that. Custom event, and this will be update percent, whatever it may be, I don't know. And the damage here we can take away from it, or whatever you want to do. We'll just do it a really simple way. We'll just take our percentage here, get and set. So get percentage, we'll do minus this damage here, plugged into the percentage, plugged into there, and that's now bound to any damage you take. So as soon as you take any damage, this will update the percentage value. You then want to tell us to update the bar. So all you're going to do here is take this stuff over here, copy that, and put that over here. And boom, done. So now I'm going to add that to my character. And we'll do it on begin play. I'm going to take this off here. Not worried about VR stuff. And up here we'll do create widget, and create our new widget blueprint, add to viewport, and there you go. So let's test the damage stuff. So if I hit the 1 key, we're going to deal damage to ourselves. So we go to type in damage, apply damage, damage actor is a self, and we'll take away 0.1. Compile, and that's it. That's all you have to do for damage stuff. So on here now, oh, I've still got that on. Hang on, let's turn it off. Okay, so there's our ability bar, and if I do damage to myself, you can see update. Push. Yeah. And if you want the bar to go the other way around, it's as simple as going into the material and taking this node here, and before you plug it into here, do 1 minus, and it'll do the opposite. So 1 minus that, we'll go into there, and now you get going the other way around. So obviously shading, doing compiler shaders. There you go. So hit 1, and that goes the other way around. And if you want to start at a different point rather than there, you can add a swizzle to it in the material. Here, swizzle. Not swizzle, sorry, so it's not swizzle. You can rotate this, but honestly, it's going to be easier in the widget than anywhere else, because on the widget here, you can just go to the transform settings and just rotate it with the angle here. So it'd probably be easier if you change the default percentage here to something lower, so 0.75. Then you'll know where it starts and stops. So you can just tweak that however you wish. So if it starts there, for example, no, it'll be where's 0. So 0 is there, so we'll start like that. Hit compile and hit play. And you get that way around. And there you go. There you go, TH Gaming. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, other question. Oh, thank you, Brett. Thank you for the donation. Long time no see. Yeah, how is it going? What else we got? How's my game coming along? I've had no time to work on it. I've been so busy. But when I go full time later this summer, I can do more project stuff, more live streams, more videos, more content, more one-to-ones. So a lot. The podcast will be coming back. There's all new stuff I'm announcing soon as well. That's coming out in later this year. So yeah, cool stuff coming. hey Ryan, can you show how to do an RPG, a rocket-propelled grenade launcher, spawning flying projectiles? How to make such projectile? That could be very cool. You already have it. It's the gun in the first-person template. That's exactly the same as a rocket-propelled grenade. You just make it explode when it hits a point. Yeah. There's not much else to it apart from making these explode. So on the projectile here, I'm going to get rid of the hit here. So I'll make it so it hits anything. We'll just do particle spawn emitter, sorry, that's what it's called. Emitter at location. We'll choose explosion, location, hit location, and then destroy actor. Yep. If you want to make it so it flies dead straight, you just go over here and turn the gravity down to 0. And now it'll fly dead straight. It won't drop. Play. Yeah. So you just change the gravity scale to 0 and it will just go straight forwards. I don't know what else you'd want to use on here to make it more rocket launcher like. Yeah. Does it answer your questions there? That's how you pronounce your name. Oh, thank you, Ben, for becoming a new member. Thank you so much. And like the projectile can also have like fire on it, and so it launches out with like the thruster on, and you can do effects on that. Yeah. Yavik, would you mind going over my question? Yeah, what's your question, Yavik? Brett Kenny. Hi Ryan, do you have any tutorials on animating character cinematics, or do you have any you can recommend? I don't currently have anything like that at the moment. However, where you can go to find a good one, actually Unreal's one's actually pretty good. Go check out their one for cinematic stuff. It's actually not that bad. So check it out. Yavik's asking, I'm stuck trying to fix a problem with my terrain generation. I'm trying to generate my terrain around my dungeon static meshes that go underground, but it generates right through them. Okay, what are you spawning with your terrain, by the way? Is it is your terrain static meshes, or are you using something else? Yeah, so you would use line tracing there, Yavik. So you generate my terrain around the dungeon static meshes that go underground, but it generates right through them. Yeah, it's hard to know without seeing what your thing looks like, but you want to generate a line trace that goes directly up and directly down to see if you can see nothing, basically. And if you can see nothing, then you spawn the floor. If you've got like a room, it won't generate. Then if you do line tracing, for example, obviously I can't do the whole level generation stuff here, but I'll do an example here. So do a line trace. By channel, and so you're just going up and down. So at whatever point you're about to spawn something, you want to check that point. So you get the location. So for example, get actor location or whatever location you're feeding into it. That's your start point. The end point is going to be the start position plus a vector, and you increase the Z value here by how far you want to check. And if you're doing level generation, you want to generally look quite far. So if you say like 10,000. That way, and do end. So now that's checking 10,000 above it. And you may want to do it down below as well, maybe. And then you got return value. If that returns true, it means it hit something. If it returns false, it didn't hit something. So if it did hit something, you may not want to spawn the floor in, for example. That's as best I can get without knowing more about your level generation, like seeing pictures of it and things like that. But hopefully that helps you out a little bit. Oh, you're doing like Minecraft stuff. So that's how Minecraft actually do it. They check for air above them. So yeah, that's how Minecraft does it. I used to make Minecraft mods. Fun fact. But yeah, that's how they do it. Is it free to ask questions? It is free to ask questions. It is. Renato, how can I show a widget behind an actor like Guilty Gear, Strive, HUD? I haven't seen that HUD. Let's have a look. Guilty Gear, Strive. I need to see gameplay, really, don't I? Let's have a look. Let's see if I can reverse engineer it. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, like the health bars are behind the player character. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Interesting idea. So I've got a HUD here. So let's just put this more center so it's going to look where the gun is. So let's check that there's in the right place first of all. Okay, so there it is on the gun. So you want the gun to appear above that. I mean, the one way you can do it is you can make three-dimensional widgets in the viewport. So you add a widget component to this. And I'm going to attach it to the camera. So it goes wherever the camera goes. Yeah, there. And I'll move this back here. Choose my widget. And do a draw size or find by font, sure, why not? Or draw it desired size. I don't know what that would come out as. So it comes out quite big. Okay, so we'll turn that off. Where's the desired size for that? Oh, hang on. I don't know what the desired size actually is of that. Let's leave it like that for a second. What size is that? Oh wait, I'll remove it from the actual screen. Hold on. Okay, can we see it at all? No. Hold on. Let's let me just make a big color on it. Actually, hang on. Wrap with border, and we'll set that to anchor fill 0, 0, 0, 0. This will wrap with a canvas panel, and the canvas panel is going to fill the whole thing. This is going to be 600. Whatever, we'll leave it like that. Okay, so we've got something a bit more obvious. So yeah, it might be just too big there. So let's decrease the size of that. So say 400, 300, and we want to try and get the same size as the frustrum, I guess. 260. Compile. Hit play. Let's create the canvas panels. I don't think canvas panels work that well. Yeah, I think you just have to add it as like like if I got rid of this camp, replaced with child and hit compile. Oh, I did it round one way. Probably worked okay then. Okay. So you get sort of like that effect. So if I go into my widget now, draw desired size. Why is that such a weird shape? Right, I'm gonna go into here and wrap it with a size box. Wrap with size box. Width, height. We do a width of 600 and a height of 400. Hit compile, and it should look like this. We'll take the canvas panel for this image here, change that to 200 by 200, and we'll place that over here. And this border, I'm just going to get rid of the content color of this. Hold on. Brush color. Hit apply. Okay, so we've got a little ring there, so you can see it there. So I'm drawing desired size there, and I can move it about. Hit compile. And you get that sort of look there. It's attached to the gun. It's not attached to the gun. Attach it directly to the camera. And now it'll go wherever the camera goes. So let's, for example, let's do a custom. Let's do a progress bar in here. Let's just hide this. Hidden. And do a progress bar. So here we'll do a very simple progress bar. And we'll give that a basic percentage. Like that. So I just need to resize it basically. New widget blueprint, size box. Let's make it a lot smaller. Let's make that 100 by 60. Take this. Compile that. Okay, let's see how that looks in the player character. But you get the gist of it. It is like, it's sort of like this. This is the only way I can think of you'd do it without having to do some crazy shader stuff. Okay. I can't see chat. I can't really ask that now. Who asked that? Was it Yavik? No, not Yavik. Who was asking that? Renato, there you go. Okay, cool. Okay, glad you like it. Okay, next question. What's time? Okay, we've got about 15 minutes later. JJ Sensei, is it better to use a HUD or sprites for a 2D quiz-like game? Doesn't really matter. You can, nope, not at all. You can use whatever you like, whatever you feel most comfortable with. I want to create a sprite material to use on my widget interface, specifically a sparkle over the mana bar to show it regenerating. I know it's possible, but I have no idea how you can implement this. So you'll need to make a flipbook, TH Gaming. So look into making a flipbook, and then you bring that in and you make that an image, and it will flip through it as an animation. I don't have a flipbook animation to show you how to do it, but if you start there, that'll give you your answer. CF380, hello. I would like to know if you have or are going to make a tutorial about game opponent, like opponent in chess, card game, or so on, and how would you do it, behavior tree or blueprint? I'll probably do something like that through behavior trees, because there's a lot of decision making going on. If you ever need to know which one when you want to use which one, you want to make sure that you use behavior trees if the thing is deciding something. It's a lot easier to manage that in behavior trees than it would be in blueprints. If it has really dumb behavior, you can get away with just doing blueprints. Brett Kenny, ooh, do you have fishing mechanics tutorials? No, but that'd be super cool to make. I'd love to make a fishing mechanic game tutorial series. That'd be really cool. I'll put that on the to-do list. I'll see if that's something I can get done this year. Hi there. We have an object to spawn in a random area, but I want to make the object not spawn in some specific places, like in the middle of a box. What should I do? How can I remove that specific place? What would you do? Is it spawning in a place that is navigable by AI there, Cena? Can AI get to those points? Is that what you want to make sure you can spawn it in? You can spawn it in like a place you can actually reach. Is that what you're talking about? Apo, hi, I'm sorry I'm late. My question is, I have particles for rain, and when I drive a car, it starts lagging behind. Any ideas? Yeah, one little tip: you can attach the particles to the actor in the car, so that when basically it's got like a little invisible rain cloud that's hovering just over the car. As the car moves, the rain just goes with it. That's one trick around that. You'd have to spawn in a million different particles. But when you do it, if you do attach it to the player, make sure you tick the particles use local space for their generation. Oh, by the way, Leonardo Alamandi, how do I create an object from a client and reproduce it for all players with the variable objects you have? So you need to send an I can't do it fully here, we don't have time, but I'll show you the general gist of it. So let's say when I push the 2 key on my client, okay, I want to tell it to spawn for all the players. So on here, you'll have another custom event to spawn actor. Okay, so this spawn actor custom event will need an input for the actor you want to spawn. So that'd be class, and that'd be an actor class reference. Okay, something like that. So when you push 2, you're going to call the spawn actor, but you only want spawn actor to run on the server. Okay, the server should be the one that does it. So spawn actor here, we're going to change replicates to run on server. So this is only going to run on the server side. On the server side, you choose the class you want to do, by the way. I'll do that, why not? On the spawn actor on the server side, you are then telling this to run another code on here. So another custom event. And this custom event is spawn client objects, and again that will have an input for the actor class, and then this one is going to be multicasted. So it goes to the server, do spawn actor, and that'll call spawn client objects. That'll go into that, and then this will do the actual spawning of actors. So you could do it this way around if you want. You can also make it do this on if you want to have you want to skip going to the server. You could also make this if I move this up here, multicast the class across there. So if you want it to skip that and go to multicast, it'll do that to all of them. And that will skip the server verification. So if you want to make sure, if you want to be extra safe, you make the server verify that they can spawn it. Otherwise, you can make the client spawn this on all of them. And that's about it. Cena, is there a way to avoid an infinite loop error in Unreal? Make something that works, but any end, but its end at infinite loop. Is there a code event that repeats? If it repeats, make it stop. Yes. So let's say we've got a custom event here for the loop. Okay, we call start loop. And when we call start loop, we are doing some code and blah 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 blah. It's going to call start loop again. I don't know. We'll do print string. We'll do a print string. So print string, hello, and this is going to then call start loop again. We call this a recursive function. Okay, it's just going to keep doing this over and over and over again. Now this doesn't happen per tick. This happens entirely in one tick. So it's dangerous. This is where it crashes games because it's just stuck in a loop and it'll just break. So what you do is you do a do n, and do n allows it to pass through several times based on this n number here. So I can go like, for example, 3, and I think that's correct. No, it won't. No, yeah, I've got to get rid of this. Get rid of that. So I think that'll stop it. This might crash my game, but we'll see. Oh, I didn't actually call it. Whoops. Push the 3 key and do start loop. Hopefully this will work. Fingers crossed doesn't crash. There you go. And it still works. So it only lets it go through it 3 times. I can't do it again. It just does it once after that. Okay. So it does the print string and then does do n. Or you can put that at the end of do n, whatever you want to do. So that is how you do that. Hopefully that helps you out. Cena. That's how you stop that. But yeah, you should avoid recursive functions like this. It's dangerous. There's probably a better way of doing it if you're doing it that way. But that is how you can avoid doing that if that's the case. Couple more questions. We've got 10 minutes left. Hi, how can I move the mouse cursor to a specific point in the screen? For example, I want to move the mouse cursor to the center of the inventory when I open the inventory. Good question. I don't know. Let's have a look. So it'll be on the construct event. So I'll break this off here. Over here. And we want to type in. By the way, this is how I do it. If I don't know the answer to something or don't know the exact node I want, this is my problem solving skills. So I know I want to do something with a mouse cursor. So if I type in mouse, look what options I get. So we got set mouse position. That sounds like what I want. So I click that, and we've got reply. Okay, I don't know what that is. New mouse position. I know what that is. And return value. Great. So I can set a new mouse position here to wherever I want, and event reply structure. Where would that go? Interesting. Where would that go? Event reply. Set user focus. Unlock mouse. Set mouse position. What would call? What? How would you set that? Interesting. As usual, documentation is poo. Tooltip says set mouse position. Let's change that to cursor. Set cursor. No, it's not that. So it is this one, but I don't know where the event reply structure would come from. Usually the event replies come from an event, funny enough. Like if you have this. No. Hang on. Let me check out documentation for it. Event reply. UE4. Make event reply. Don't know. It should be. I swear I've noticed it on one of these things before. So on mouse enter. No. What have I seen it on before? Drag. On drop. No. What have I seen it on? What have I seen it on? Pointer event, no. Useful. Was it just like key down? Oh, it's there. Event reply structure. Can you drag it into that? Set mouse position. Although you wanted to typically want to put then handled. Oh, I know. Yeah. So when you okay, got it. So oh crap. How would you actually get that out of a key down? I've never seen it on key down. So when you're doing the key down, you do the set mouse position. So it would look like this at the end. Hang on. So whatever the new position is, it goes in there, and then he'll be like handled. So we'll handle it, set the mouse position, and then return it there, and that happens on key down. But it's only on inputs though. So how would you do it on that when it's loaded? Don't know. Interesting. Don't know. I'll have to have a think about that one. It's something like this. That's the answer to that. But I don't want to spend too much time on it because we are running out of time. I want to go through the last couple of things. How to respawn Blueprint AI or Mesh if Blueprint gets destroyed by a player. You can store the start position in the game mode, or there's also a function. I haven't used it before. We can test it out. So on destroyed, we can go, or not on destroyed rather, but you can set actor. Where is it? Set actor. No, it's get actor spawn. No, start. What is it called? I saw it the other day, but I haven't used it before, so I haven't messed about with it. Spawn. Location. Alternatively, yeah, you just you can store the location of it to your game mode and tell it to respawn there. But I saw something that looked like it would do it, but don't know where it was. Something actor start. Turn of context. Feedback. Find player start. So, oh yeah, it has been game mode. So this is what you need. So this needs a game mode, and you have player start. Get controller where they started, and I don't know. I haven't messed about with this, but alternatively, you just store the start position and transform somewhere else, and there you go. What else we got? Right, my problem with the spawn actor is that it replicates the mesh, but does not replicate the variable I want to introduce. This is a variable of the type blueprint. So you're talking about back up here when we've done the spawn. Where is it? Spawn actor. We send the class over to it. Yeah, you can replicate that. So you just add that spawn actor here. Just add another variable for the thing you want to do. So it's a float. And on your class here, you should have the float as an exposed variable for spawning. And you just plug that into there, and it'll bring it over. So it's like Ryan's in slow-mo. At this time of night, I'm always in slow-mo. For a trivia game, would the question and answer code be better put in the game mode blueprint or in the widget blueprint? A bit of both. So the actual questions and answers will be stored in a data table. The game mode will spawn a question, and it will set that question's question and answers as well as the correct answer. So when you do click on it, it knows what to do, and it tells the game mode, "Hey, I was successful. Put it back in." AMTI. This is the last question, as we've got we're running out of time. Hi, a good way to store data when you need resources for build or something like 2 wood, 3 stone, so forth. Which is the best way to store that data? How about if you have a master server for character? Is that what you mean? I think that's what you mean. The data should be best stored probably as a data map, maybe. So a map is if I go down here, make a variable for a map. Let's call it like inventory, for example. And on here, you'd have a string, and then you'll have a map, which is this bottom one here. Click on that, and you'll integer. So you'd have default value here. We go in here, add 1, stone 3, another one for gold 2. And this is a map. So the left hand column are keys, the right hand side are values. You have to have unique keys, and these are just identifiers to what the values are. So maps are pretty good for that. What you're describing, at least, anyway. No problems, Leandro. Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't work, 'cause you're sending over this, unless you're doing something randomized. I'm not too sure, but if it's a static value, it should spawn it with that value. You know, like plug in like that when it's there. But yeah. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the show today. So big shout out and thank you to all my patrons, my YouTube members, and everyone who has joined us tonight for this live stream and asked those questions. If I didn't answer your question, please don't take it to heart. We just ran out of time, that's all. Every Wednesday I do this, so come by next Wednesday with more questions. You can ask whatever you want. I'm happy to answer as many as I can. Other than that, we have a live stream this Saturday. I promise try not to cancel it this time. But we'll be talking about the EQS system in Unreal Engine 4. So if you want to learn more about the EQS system for your AI, come by on Saturday evening. That's 11 o'clock PM BST to start learning about EQS and all the different nooks and crannies of it over on my channel. So yeah, other than that, we've got more content coming out every single day on Patreon, try almost every single day on Patreon and on YouTube. Reminder, we have got Deathmatch Bot AI series started now over on Patreon, so if you want to watch the first episode of that, you can do. Second episode of that will be out next week. Basically, it's getting a bot to run around a map naturally, rather than zigzagging all over the place. They can look around a map in a more natural manner. I mean, we put a bit more clever AI in it, so they have like a more interesting space to explore, and shoot at you, so we'll get to shoot at you. But yeah, that's it. So good night everyone, I'm off to bed and I'll see you all on Saturday. Thank you and good night. Bye everyone.